Why are you wide awake at 2 a.m. staring at your ceiling? You feel broken. You feel like a malfunctioning machine in a world that never stops. We call it insomnia. We treat it like a medical disaster. We buy weighted blankets and pop melatonin just to stay unconscious for 8 straight hours. But what if your body is not broken? What if, sometimes, you are simply remembering who you used to be? For much of human history, the perfect 8-hour night was not the only model. Your ancestors did not always sleep in one long, sealed block. Many lived a secret life in the middle of the night. This was the era of segmented sleep. Before artificial light filled our evenings, the night could become a structured journey. There was the first sleep, there was the watch, and there was the second sleep. People would often retire shortly after the sun dipped below the horizon. They slept for several hours. Then, around midnight, many woke up. This was not always treated as a quirk or a mistake. It was part of the rhythm. For 1 or 2 quiet hours, the world was still, and the mind entered a strange space between sleep and day. Historians call this period the watch. In old French references, people spoke of the premier somme, the first sleep. In Italian, there was the primo sonno. This was not necessarily a time of panic or anxiety. It could be a window of reflective clarity. The house was dark. The streets were quiet. The fire was low. And the mind, half dreaming and half awake, had nowhere else to run. In 1992, psychiatrist Thomas Wehr showed that this was not only a cultural habit. He placed volunteers in a long, winter-like darkness schedule for about a month. Within weeks, their bodies stopped sleeping in one modern block. They settled into a pattern that looked much older. Sleep, wakefulness, then sleep again. During that quiet interval, the brain and body showed a hormonal state that seemed unusually calm. Prolactin, a hormone associated with the sleeping body, stayed elevated. The result was not a frantic 2 a.m. panic spiral. It was closer to a stillness, a pause, a dark room where the mind could finally hear itself. During the watch, pre-industrial people were not just killing time. They were doing the small human things that daylight often interrupts. They wrote. They prayed. They read by candlelight. They interpreted dreams that still felt vivid and alive. They visited neighbours. They sat in the quiet. They listened to the strange machinery of their own thoughts. For some people, the watch may have been one of the most mentally open parts of the day. Not because it was productive in the modern sense, not because it made you better at work, but because it belonged to no one. So what killed it? Why did we trade this midnight doorway for a pill bottle and a phone screen? The answer is not one invention, it is a whole world changing. In the 1800s, gas lamps began to flood the streets of cities like Paris and London. Then electric light spread even further. Suddenly, the night was navigable. More importantly, the night became useful. The evening could be bought, sold, scheduled, and stretched. Factories wanted long, continuous shifts. Cities wanted brighter streets. Managers wanted bodies that could stay awake all day and collapse all night. Sleep became utilitarian. It became a refueling period designed to power the next day. And slowly, we compressed the old rhythm into one tight block. First sleep and second sleep faded from ordinary language. The watch disappeared. And when a modern person woke at 2 a.m., they no longer thought, "This is the quiet middle of the night." They thought, "Something is wrong with me." We began to fear our own wakefulness. We turned a quiet biological possibility into a personal failure. The next time you wake up at 3 a.m., do not immediately reach for your phone. Do not fight the silence. Do not stare at the clock like it is an enemy. Maybe your brain is not betraying you. Maybe it is offering you an ancient kind of stillness. The watch is not a cure for every sleep problem. Some insomnia is real, painful, and deserves help. But not every midnight awakening means you are broken. Sometimes it may simply mean that your body is older than your schedule, older than your alarm, older than the light bulb, older than the idea that every useful human being must sleep in one perfect block. The watch is a doorway out of the noise. It is the time when the mind can become calm and strangely alert. You are not a malfunctioning machine. You are a human being with an ancient body living under modern lights. Turn off the screen. Let the room be dark. Listen. The dawn is coming. But the watch belongs to you.